So, this is supposed to be the episode that ruins Star Wars forever, eh? Let's jump right into it then. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe. We open on Brendok 16 years ago. Osha and May meet up underneath a bunta tree, but there's a problem. And no, I'm not talking about how May supposedly abuses space butterflies in an unclear way. Osha doesn't really want to do the ascension, whatever that is, but May pulls her home anyway. We get the poem from earlier in a more heartwarming context. It's about the connection between the two sisters. Okay, fair enough.
What are you doing here? How many times have I told you it is not safe out here?
Why not? Apparently, the girls are old enough to go outside the fortress but can't wander around the forest? Oh, Saul is there. That explains it. After the title, we get a look at a fortress stuffed with women. Okay, so they're in a monastery of some kind. Let's pay close attention to what comes next. Osha and May want some spice creams. Coral won't allow it, but Mommy Anastasia doesn't mind. Pause. Look at the color of Coral's eyes for a moment. What does that tell you? The twins get some treats and we follow the women. They don't want the Jedi poking around, but we also learn that they raised the twins together. We get a little bit of info on the Coven's belief system. They think that all living things are connected
by the same thread.
Mother Anastasia describes the thread as something that isn't a power. It ties people to their destiny and others around them. In other words, the Coven is either mistaken or lying about how other people view the Force. We get a push demonstration. Osha isn't exactly paying attention. May notices and a fight breaks out. Mommy Anastasia puts a stop to it and gives May the opportunity to block some force on her own. In another room, we get to the bottom of what is going on.
I don't want to do the ascension.
Oh, okay. We knew that.
Of course you want that. No, you want that.
Girls.
Trying to override a person's choices, eh? This sounds like cultist grooming 101. Mommy Anastasia tries to do it too by reinforcing their relationship. Among other things.
You think you want something different than life in this coven, but that is because you are young.
That sounds like something that a parent would say, but it feels off when you consider the setting.
The galaxy is not a place that welcomes women like us.
Why would that be? Osha and May have to get their hair done for the ceremony, but there's a problem.
Stop, don't look.
May believes that it isn't fair that Osha doesn't share everything. Osha notices that she and May are the only kids in the area. Let's get to the ceremony. After a bit of worshipping at the altar of Pink Floyd, Mommy Anastasia strides to the front of the gathering. By the way, why haven't they performed this ceremony in a while?
We were hunted, persecuted, forced into hiding, all because some would consider our power dark, unnatural.
Oh boy. The cultists use more rote repetition and Mommy Anastasia calls down some moon powers. May accepts her full initiation without question and receives a magic branding. Osha hesitates for a moment, which gives the Jedi enough time to intervene. What do you know? They're the four that May hates. Indara is concerned that the Coven is hurting children. While the cult denies everything, the Jedi all sense Osha and May. Osha reveals herself and May follows soon afterward. Saul lets slip that he was watching Osha and May, which angers some of the witches. Saul focuses on Osha and asks if she'd like to be tested. Osha says yes, so one of the witches mind controls Torben. Yeah. These women are bad. Osha pleads with her mother to stop hurting Torben. The witches back down and both sides agree to the Jedi test. In the council, though, we learn that some of the witches actually want to murder the Jedi and cover it up. Mother Anastasia says no, but
I did not bring the girls into this world so we could lose them to a bunch of deranged monks.
She sounds like she's giving in to her anger. I wonder where that leads. By the way, there's also this.
I carried them.
I created them.
They're going to tie this into Plagueis and Sheev, aren't they? The Jedi can't know how the twins were made, so the witches come up with the idea of making them deliberately fail. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
The Jedi are bad. The Jedi are good.
Who told you that, May? But wait, there's more.
This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
That is the essence of the dark side. Mommy Anastasia doesn't quite like Osha's critical thinking, but it's time for the test. Osha says hi to Kelnaka first. Good to know. Osha gets some blood taken for her midichlorian count. After that, the Jedi administer the same test that Anakin got in The Phantom Menace. Our protagonist says that a space kitty is a ship.
Correct.
I see. What about the next one?
A mountain.
Correct.
That wasn't a mountain.
Sol, you sneaky, sneaky man. Our Jedi asks Osha what she actually wants and talks about how the Order welcomed him. So, what is Osha's decision?
I want to be a Jedi.
Then you must have the courage to tell the truth.
What is this, good writing? Back in the fortress, Osha and May talk with their mothers.
That man used his Jedi mind tricks on her.
Wow, way to call your daughter weak-minded. May has an extremely negative reaction to Osha's desire to see the galaxy. That ceremony must have really messed with her head. Mother Anastasia seems to come around to the idea that Osha should pull the thread. But
we will consider your wish when we do so.
that's a no, isn't it? Osha packs up. She drew something that looks like the Jedi insignia. May doesn't like that, though. Not at all.
You can't go. We're stuck here now.
What? I mean, it's not like she can stop this.
I'll kill you.
Uh-oh. May pushes Osha down, takes her sketchbook, and locks her in her room. Our antagonist takes a lantern, lights the paper on fire, and leaves as the place goes up in flames. Osha knows about a secret passage, though, so she'll be okay. Something is going on upstairs. However, we keep our focus on Osha as she walks into a reactor room. Our lead spots May, but the place explodes. The twins confront each other on a broken catwalk. Let's pause and consider a question. Why is May's demeanor kind of different here? She seems to think that Osha is responsible for what she did. Sure, that could be a deflection, but what if there's more to it than that? Anyway, May falls into the chasm. Sol catches Osha on the way down, pulls her up, and leads her out of the burning fortress. Most of the witches seem to have died in a single pile, and Osha's creator mother is on her own. Well, what's left of her anyway? How did this happen? I guess we'll have to find out later. Osha wakes up on the Jedi ship. Sol rushes to her side, but we should focus on the background for a moment. Did you notice that Kelnaka isn't there? What about the fact that Torben has his scars now? Anyway, Sol tells Osha that they're headed for Coruscant and explains what happened. He even offers to take her on as a Padawan.
You will never feel like this, okay? I promise.
At the very least, he's striving to be what a Jedi should be. And as we already know, May survived. As I mentioned in the opening, this episode was supposed to be the one that ruins everything, but it's obvious that the critics who said that were missing something. Or lying. It actually wound up reaffirming the importance of the Jedi. Sure, they are not perfect people, but they emphasize virtue and free choice. There is still the open question of what happened to Torben, but it's possible that he wound up suffering from PTSD. That can happen when you see horrible things. By contrast, the witches emphasize how cults maintain control over their members. They attempt to impose their will on Osha, strengthen her relationships with the in-group, and make her fearful of the out-group. Those are the key moves of a bunch of nut jobs in the real world, so why wouldn't it work in a galaxy far, far away? As for the mystery, I happen to think that it is an attempt to destabilize the Jedi from the outside. One of the Sith had to have been there that night, but we'll have to see the next few episodes to know for sure. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.